Good morning, everybody. I'm Ricky Stamps, Director of Programs and Events, and welcome to the December Town Meeting. Wow, what a busy month it's been so far, and we're not finished, okay? I want to highlight a few things that we have left for the month of December, but Michael and I are churning out January as we speak. A lot of things going on in January as well. Thank you all, first of all, so much for your support and your participation in the Christmas party. I hope you had a good time. I've had several emails that people enjoyed the band. Miss Janet, it does a fabulous job singing, and we probably will have them back again next year. And I want to compliment Memo on the wonderful variety of hors d'oeuvres. He did an amazing job, and his staff was right there to help with everything. And I want to again recognize my crew for putting up all the Christmas cheer back here, all over. Absolutely flipping this room 20 times already for different types of events. It takes a lot of muscle to do that. So anyway, again, thank you for all your support this month. I do want to remind you, Saturday at 3, we have Tomoko Kashiwagi from the university. Her student piano recital. Yes, her student piano recital will be on Saturday here in the hall. And then we have Boston Avenue Methodist Church Christmas service on Tuesday, the 20th. And it's at 2 p.m. in here in the Performance Hall. It will also be aired on channel 1960, so you can see that live as well from your home. Thursday, the 22nd, we have Christmas carols. Rachel King and Theodore Carlson have been here before. Precious performance they gave us back in the spring. But they will be dressed in authentic England caroling costumes, and everybody can come and just sing along with them. So I think that'll be fun since we haven't had caroling so far. And then, aside from Christmas, on Wednesday the 28th, I'm having a candid conversation with resident Ingrid Polonius. Ingrid has taken the time to write a memoir about her experiences as a child during World War II in Kassel, Germany. And there were many Christmases that Ingrid did not enjoy because of what was going on during the war. But please come by and hear what she would like to share from her book, and her family will be here. And I think it's just a great time to realize how blessed we are in this country. And the fact that her and her family survived all of that is wonderful. And several other residents have also had experiences during the war. But please stop by, and Ingrid will also be able to answer questions if you have any. That will be on Wednesday, 2:30 here in the Performance Hall. Last thing, I want to remind you, on Christmas Day, there will be no transportation, meaning no church services or shuttle services, and there's just the Christmas Day brunch. And then same thing on on New Year's Day, January 1, there will be no church bus service, but there will be campus shuttle service for the meal that day. All right, do you have any questions for me? No? Oh, I was just asked how many residents have signed up to go to Greece. Right now we have 13. And as of today, we'll be opening it up to Carriage Club. For those of you who did not make my meeting about the trip, it is now scheduled for May 7th through the 17th. And we'll be starting in Athens, and it'll be land and water tours. And if you're interested and you did not make the meeting, please just send me a quick email. I'll be happy to send you the information. And I think we're going to have a group. I can take as many as 30. And the tour is going to be absolutely fabulous. It doesn't leave anything left out. And wonderful meals, wonderful accommodations, and we'll see things that you normally wouldn't see when you go to Greece. Okay, well, first of all, I just want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. This time of year can be fun, it can be happy, it can also be sad and challenging. And I just want you to know how happy I am to be a part of Butterfield, and you all have a family here at Butterfield Trail Village. So just be spend time together, spend time with your families, and just know the Christmas spirit is on Butterfield. Thank you so much, and I'll turn it over to Jennifer, then Patricia, then Quentin.
Good morning. So I have a new program, or we have a new program starting. It'll start this upcoming Monday. I don't know if you've met my assistant, Keisha, but she has 30 years experience as a physical therapist assistant. And so she is very skilled, and in redesigning the program, wanted to make sure we were really utilizing her skills. So we've created the Keisha Clinic, and that will be a drop-in on your own time, and I'll have the hours posted in several places, and we'll be getting an email blast and some notifications out to you. But that'll be Monday 11 to 1:30, Wednesday 9:30 to 12:30, and it's a drop-in clinic where you can come and get the individual help from Keisha. There may be a couple of other people coming in at the same time, but it will still be very individualized. Come in with any of your wellness goals and get help. Specifically, if you want to learn to use the exercise equipment, want a little bit of personalized help with balance, post-rehab, any health goal that you want help on individually, please come. And you can come every Monday and Wednesday. You don't just have to come get help and then do it on your own. This will be an ongoing program. Really excited to be offering it, and so please come and give it a try. Also wanted to say that the week between Christmas and New Year's, classes will be canceled as we spend time with our families for the holidays, and have so many wonderful things getting ready to get launched starting in January. Excited to start to share those, so just keep your eyes posted, and I'll start getting those notices out. And here's Patricia.
Good morning, everybody. Good to see you. Just one quick reminder, it is so very important that if you're going to be gone overnight, even just one night, that you sign out at the front desk. If you live in the cottages or village homes, you can just call the front desk and ask the receptionist to sign you out, and with the estimated time that you'll be back, but even one night. And especially if you are going to be in the hospital overnight, even if you just go for a short procedure and you'll be back the next day, we need to know that, because that affects the census. And when we find out like a week later that someone's going to the hospital, then the ones that do the census in the business office had to go back and rework all that. And so it puts a real heavy load on them, and it's not the best use of their time. So if you can let us know ahead of time if it's a scheduled procedure, that would be great. You can let me know. You can let resident care know. Or if it's not a scheduled situation, and if you're not able to let us know, maybe have a family member give us a call. That would be great. And especially if you're admitted to the hospital, we need to know so that we can be communicating with the case managers there and making sure that you're getting the care you need, and whether or not you need to come back to health care and so forth. So if you could do that, I'm sure the ladies in the business office that take care of the census, not me, but they take care of that and do a great job, and it would really help them quite a bit if we could get that information really quickly. And we appreciate that, and I say that for them too. But have a Merry Christmas. Hope each one of you have a wonderful and blessed holiday, and you guys are just as much my family, because I spend more time with you than my actual family. So, so hope you all have a wonderfully blessed holiday. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, you had a question. Well, the signing out is anything. If you're going to be gone overnight, even, just so that we know, because if something comes up, there's a fire, there's water in your apartment, or, coming out into the hallway, that kind of thing, we need to know. But if it's medical and you're in the hospital, we really need to know that for sure. Ann, did you have one? So you're asking about PAMP? And what specifically? Oh, if you'll call me or email me, I'll resend that. I think that went out over Telegram, maybe. I can't remember for sure. I'll have to look. But if you'll remind me, I'll get that information to you. Any other questions for me? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to just run off the stage. All right, thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Got just a few housekeeping chores, if you will. They're not actually chores, but for lack of a better way to say it. One of the first things I'd like to do is, what are you two laughing at? They're laughing at me about something. Items. There we go, items. They laugh at me all the time. I learned to ignore them. So, we had our Employee Appreciation Christmas luncheon Wednesday. And at that luncheon, we recognized Ricky Stamps and Debbie Reed for 35 years of service to Butterfield Trail Village. And I know that, let's give her, that may have been announced before, but I thought I'm just going to take another opportunity to bring that up. 35 years they've worked at Butterfield and dedicated to Butterfield. And that's amazing. But thank you, Ricky, for that. And thank you, Debbie's not here today, but yeah, oh. Patricia said Ricky was 5 years old when she started, and I should have said that myself, yes. So, but, talking about the employee appreciation, the Employee Appreciation Committee that we have asked me to thank we had a resident step forward and donated the money that we used to purchase pies that went to our residents. I seen Cody just walking by in the hall out there, but anyway, we had a resident step forward, and every employee got a choice of between an apple pie and a pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. And I just want to say thank you for the resident who donated the money for that. Also, today we handed out I didn't do it. The resident council handed out the employee Christmas purse checks. And I want to say thank you to all the residents, both in the room and in TV land that's listening, for your donations to the Christmas purse. The number was like $114,000. I hope I'm not stealing their thunder from the forum, but and if it's not the largest, it's right up there at the top with the largest. So it really appreciate each of you for stepping up and the money you donated for the Christmas purse. It makes a big difference to our staff, and they really appreciate this. So on behalf of the staff of Butterfield Trail Village, I'd like to say thank you to each of you for your donation to the Christmas purse. And then the resident council for the time and effort. It's a lot of time that they spend doing this and writing these checks and things, but I want to thank the resident council officers for doing that. But yeah. We are, I missed an item on my list. The healthcare floor replacement is complete. We finished up yesterday. Spent a lot of time looking at trying to figure out how to keep from having to do this project. The old floor, when we did the remodel in 2016, we put down a 25-year floor that lasted not quite 6 years. Was very, very upset about it. Couldn't get any of the companies that was involved in the installation or manufacture to step up and agree to pay the cost to replace it. And we got to the point where we just had to just do it ourselves. What we think was happening was the glue that was used was not the correct glue, and anytime moisture was introduced into the glue, it caused the tile to come unstick from the floor and would bubble up and was becoming unsafe. We had to do this, we had to just move residents around, close down hallways at a time, and completely strip up the old floor, clean off the concrete, re-skim the concrete, put out new moisture barrier, and then put down a new floor. So we just had to do it from scratch. And to do this, we had to move each resident in healthcare at least twice. Nobody moved more than twice. But anyway, that was, we spent a lot of time trying to avoid having to do that because that was very disruptful, very confusing for the residents, very disruption for the staff. It was confusing for guests coming in and family members, and we were just simply trying to avoid it, and there was just no way for it. But I do want to thank the Mike Wright and the wonderful staff in healthcare for their hard work. They really did a good job with the moves and helping our residents with the transition. I want to thank, of course, our residents, obviously, for their patience and understanding with us, and then also the family members and any residents that have loved ones in healthcare. But we got it done. It looks good. We we had to go through the pain. It's kind of like you get a splinter in your finger. It's going to hurt when you pull it out, but you just got to do it. So we did, and it looks good. So hopefully this one will last much longer than the old one did. Let's see, the next thing on my list is I want to remind everybody about COVID and flu. We're seeing our typical holiday surge. We knew we would have it with COVID and the flu. You've probably seen on TV a lot about how the hospitals and urgent cares are overrun with people with the flu cases and COVID. So we knew we'd have these over the holiday. It'll continue spiking until probably mid-January, and then it'll start to settle down. And by maybe mid-February, will be the spike will be over. But just keep that in mind as you do your holiday plans. If you haven't got your flu vaccine, I think most everybody here did. Please get one. If your family doesn't have one, please ask them to get one. So these are very, very important to keep yourself safe over the holidays. Of course, we all want to go and enjoy the holidays with our family and friends, but it's also we need to do so safely. And as a reminder, let me or Patricia know if you test positive, so we can keep up with the record. So I got three more things to go over here, but one of them is our guest meals and our carriage club suite costs that we charge. We really should have done this as part of our budgetary process back in August and September and didn't. But we were talking the other day, and somebody said, "Man, we really need to increase these guest meal prices." And in all honesty, we do. The guest meal price was set at $10.50 in the summer of 2017. So in the last 5 years, we've not increased this guest meal price any. Of course, since then, we've seen a dramatic increase in food cost, labor cost, just everything across the board, as you're well aware. So we're going to, in our handbook that Patricia is working on, we're going to increase the price of guest meals to $15 an hour effective January 1st. $15 an hour, $15 per meal. Oh, sorry about that. $15 per guest meal starting January the 1st. And I know that's unfortunate, but it's just simply what we have to do to help try to recover our cost of that meal that the guest is incurring. So, and it'll work just like normal. It'll come out of your fob dollars, so there's no change in anything other than just the price will be $15 instead of $10.50. The guest suite, same thing. We've been charging $75, which if you've stayed in a hotel, that's $75 is a pretty good bargain. Of course, they do the price, and then they add on all the surcharges and sales taxes and parks and tourism fees and all that stuff. So you never pay the price they quote. It's always a lot higher. But we need to increase it to $99. That pays for housekeeping, utilities, increase in housekeeping, utilities, and maintenance and that sort of thing. Once again, the $99 is the total price, not the price before all the other charges on it. So that's still a pretty good bargain from most hotels. So the next thing on the list is our 5-star rating for our nursing home. We have been rated a 5-star rating in our nursing home for many years. I'm 5-6 years now. We unfortunately have dropped down to a 3-star, and there's no way to sugarcoat that. What you do is the rating system, there's 4 major categories in the rating system. And these categories all add up to your overall quote-unquote 5-star rating. Each of those categories is rated a 1 through a 5-star as well. And then that adds up to, like I said, averages to your total. Each category has various different attributes that the Medicare uses to rate to rate us, and then that determines that category's 5-star rating, and then all of those average together to make our total 5-star rating. And I hope I'm explaining that where it makes sense to you. But one of those 4 categories is staffing. Now we have much higher staffing levels than many nursing homes do. But we have to submit what's called a quarterly or a monthly payroll journal report. It's called PB&J, and that's not to be confused with a peanut butter and jelly. But we have to submit the monthly PB&J report, or a payroll data report, and then we also submit a quarterly report. And if you fail to submit one of these reports at any given time, you automatically go to a 1-star rating for the staffing category. And a 1-star is the lowest you can get. You're always at least a 5-star. You can never be higher than that, but you can't be lower than a 1-star. If you fail to submit your report, you go automatically to a 1-star from wherever you was. We received a letter from CMS that says we forgot to submit our May payroll data. And, well, that's ridiculous. Of course we submitted it. We've got the report right here, the confirmation of it was submitted and everything. So we called the number on the letter we got from CMS and say, hey, y'all made a mistake. You need to adjust our number back up to the 5-star. Because when our staffing went to 1-star, staffing was a 5-star before this mistake. And then we automatically dropped to a 1-star, and everybody does this. If you don't submit the report. So we called them and said, hey, you need to get that go back up to a 5-star, which causes our overall rating to go back up to a 5-star. And they said, nope, you didn't submit the report. And we said, well, of course we did. We've got the report right here. We're looking at it. Well, it turns out when we printed it turns out we didn't submit our May data. When we printed the report to verify that we thought we had submitted our May data, the report we printed was actually included the April data. And with the April numbers on there, it fooled, and we thought it was the May report. It was filed and sent off, and everything was done, and we were all happy because we'd completed our task. Well, unfortunately, it was actually the April data, and we never actually submitted May data. So the combination of the two errors, the one is somehow or another, and we still don't know exactly how it happened, but the May data wasn't transferred into the program that we used to submit. And then when we printed the report to verify it, we printed the April report instead of the May report. So the combination of those two errors meant that we didn't actually submit our May data, and we did automatically drop from a 5-star staffing to a 1-star in staffing, which caused our overall 5-star rating to drop down to a 3-star. We just made a mistake. So I don't want to minimize it. We made a mistake, but on the other hand, I've only heard of one perfect person on this earth, and unfortunately, we're not him. So anyway, we think this is going to correct itself. We submit every quarter, so once the new quarters are processed, of course, that was in May, so that was the second quarter of 2022. As the future quarters are processed, we should go back up to a 5-star. So that is our expectation. But if you've seen we've dropped to a 3-star, that is correct. Or if you hear we've dropped, that is correct. It was a clerical error. The amount of care did not change. The number of staffing we have on hand did not change. We still have as many RNs and everything as we had before. It was just simply a clerical error on our part. So when we called them, they said, oh, you just forgot you didn't hit all the buttons right. And we said, well, no, we know we did because we got the report right here we're looking at. And they said, no, we see this all the time. This happens to nursing homes all across the United States, and this is very common. And it's now just happened to us. So we're going to make sure that we watch our reports very carefully next time and make sure we've printed the correct month and verified that the data is there, and then that'll solve the problem for the future, we think. So. Okay, the final thing I wanted to bring up is we had our board meeting Wednesday night, and we had our annual corporate meeting at the first Sunday, I think it's December 4th, and the board members, or the corporate members elected our new board members for 2023. And Jackie Brandley, who has been the president of our board the last 4 years, she has finished her 9th year on our board, which is our term limits. So this year ended her tenure on our board. And Jackie is the last board member that was on the board when I was hired in at Butterfield and became CEO. So she's been here the whole time I've been, and it's going to seem kind of weird to not have her around, but we've got a really good board, and I know she'll be missed, but we've also got a good board that'll step in and fill her void. So I'm looking forward to the future there. We had 3 board members that were reelected. Now Chris may have to help me out here. That was Dr. Kim Chapman was reelected. Robert Kelly, or Bob Kelly, was reelected, and he was also elected as president of our board to replace Jackie. And Chuck Nickel was reelected. I think he was a 1-year term, and he was reelected to another 3-year term. And then the new board member to replace Jackie is a gentleman by the name of Leroy Duell. Leroy Duell is a practicing CPA in Northwest Arkansas, has been for many years. I first met Leroy in October of 1987. I was doing the accounting and payroll and accounting work for a guy that owned a number of small businesses in Fayetteville while I was in college here, and Leroy was his CPA. So I've known Leroy for I don't know how many years that is, and he's a great guy. He's a very astute financial mind. I think he'll be a great addition to our board. But Bob Kelly is our new incoming president. He's a retired architect. Dr. Kim Chapman is a practicing physician, and she is our secretary. Will Clark, who is a practicing attorney, will be our vice president. And Dave Williams is our treasurer. He's a retired financial advisor. And then I'm expecting Leroy will be on our finance committee as well as a board member. So I hope you can see we've got a pastor on our board. Chris, help me out here. We have a pastor on our board, but we've got a very diverse board. And the reason I'm bringing all this up is we have a very diverse board with a very good talent that we can utilize and draw on their expertise to make better decisions with. And I just wanted to point this out to you while we were talking today. But anyway, we do have, hang on a minute, Chris is saying something. There we go. We have a retired psychiatrist on our board. So as you can see, we've got a real diverse background board with lots of good expertise. And this type of expertise sitting in the room is invaluable when it comes to making decisions. So, but I'm really glad that we have such a diverse board. So with that, that is all I had on my list that I can think of. So I'm going to open it up for questions. Barbara, yeah? That the question is will there be a corresponding increase for Carriage Club members to eat in the dining room? Well, the Carriage Club will continue to get 2 meal tickets a month, as they always have. Anything beyond that, they would be charged the guest price at $15. Is that not correct? Yeah. So so to answer your question, kind of. So, yeah, after the 2, they would pay the $15. If they come more than that, yes. The question is, can the guests get the salad? Well, yeah, I think so. I don't know why they couldn't, but let us check that. And yeah, yeah. The 15 is if they just get the full buffet. I think they can still get the $6 salad if they wanted. I don't know why they couldn't. So, well, Kim, you got something you? Well, why don't you come up and do that? Kim has an announcement after all to make.
Good morning. I just wanted to share, I had an afterthought after the employee appreciation announcement. Our employee appreciation committee is chaired by Cody Crespin, and they're a really engaged group and do a lot of great things for our employees. And last year, they created the Sandy Evans Award to recognize an employee that they feel like represents the spirit of Sandy Evans. And Jay Green was the recipient last year, and this year's recipient is Teresa Sosby. So I just wanted to share that. She does a lot of great things here at Butterfield.
Thank you, Kim. I know she would do a better job at announcing that than me. So, is there any more questions before we adjourn for our December town hall meeting? Well, if not, I wish each of you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And God willing, we'll see you back here at our January meeting. So.